background is in search. I spent over 10 years working with Microsoft Search. I was the head of search and shopping for MSN in Australia, and also came over to Canada and performed similar functions with Bing in Canada as well. So I had a lot of experience working for a search engine and working with engineers and talking about algorithms and artificial intelligence and machine learning and things like that. And in my heart, I'm a software engineer and a product manager, and I really love search engine technology. And I built etsyrank to help my wife with selling on Etsy, and I then made it available for everyone to use. So that's the quick background about me. The things that I think are really important and the core values of etsyrank are really to help educate, inspire, and enable Etsy sellers so that all of you can learn as much as possible how to improve your shops, optimize your listings, and things like that. And I've made a very deliberate move here to make about 95% of the site free. And I'm guessing most of you have used the free site, which I plan to keep running forever, or as long as it makes sense to. And late last year, I introduced etsyrank Pro, which Woliran and I were talking about, and I'm going to give you a demonstration of that in just a few minutes. So that was the quick background. Woliran, did you want to ask any questions at this stage, or shall we keep going?
No.
Thank you for being
here.
Thank you for having me.
I have no questions so far. Let me just translate in 2 words. בעצם מה שאנטוני מספר זה שבעצם יש לו ניסיון אדיר, הוא עבד גם ב-MSN, גם במייקרוסופט, זאת אומרת הוא עבד בכמה חברות מאוד גדולות, בנושא מנועי החיפוש בעצם. אשתו בעצם סוחרת באצי, ויום אחד הוא אמר, מה אפשר לעשות כאן שהעסק יעבוד יותר טוב בשבילה, ומכאן הוא אמר, יאללה, בוא נוציא את זה החוצה לשאר העולם, וככה העסק התחיל. אוקיי, that was in 2 words, אנטוני.
Okay, it sounded like 2 words. All right. So I thought after we talked, it would be great to share some interesting stats or facts about Etsy. And one of the things that I find very interesting is how Etsy is being used around the world. And one of the surprising things here was how well the Israeli shops are doing, especially compared to the United Kingdom and France. I think that this is an amazing statistic to see here. So Woliran and everyone listening, great job. I mean, the average number of sales that shops from Israel have is nearly 400 since they've opened. So you're doing exceptionally well there. Canada, I can understand being very close to the US, why they do so well. Turkey surprises me. They have got a couple of shops that are doing really, really well. But guys, great job there. Woliran, whatever you're telling your followers and groups, you're doing a phenomenal job there. It's fantastic to see that knowledge being shared around.
Okay. So just let me translate in 2 words. בעצם מה שאנטוני אומר, שמבחינת המידע שלו, הוא לא מתפלא שקנדה וארצות הברית מוכרות הרבה, כי ארצות הברית מן הסתם, זאת מוכרים הרבה, הכוונה במחירות פר חנות, אז אין הרבה הפתעות שארצות הברית מוכרים הרבה, וגם קנדה בגלל הקרבה לארצות הברית, רוב הקניות מגיעות מארצות הברית, ומה שהרגע הבנתי זה ש400 מחירות בממוצע לחנות, you said that it's 400 sales per shop.
Per shop on average, yeah, 396.
Okay, yes, thanks.
Okay, I'll move on.
Yeah, please.
So when you posted the message on Facebook, we got a few questions in. So I thought I'd answer those first and then get into the demonstration. And one of the first questions was from one of your users, if it's possible to get weekly views added to the keyword tool. And I think this is in the related tag section. And the answer is yes. So I'm going to be, it's now on the roadmap. So my plan is to, in the next about 4 weeks, to add that in there. I need to do a little bit of work on my end to bring that data in and make sure that the tool works fast. But I love these sort of questions because it going, Liren?
I couldn't hear you.
Should I keep going?
Yeah, I can ask you a few questions now. It's okay?
Well, I got two more here, and then
okay.
I was going to start the demo. So I'll get through these, and then we can get to some of the questions.
Okay.
Yep. Another one, and this one was actually from you. Which categories and subcategories sell the best? The short answer is that Etsy don't share that information. So they keep sales data very private, and that makes good sense. So obviously that means I can't share that with you. But what I can do is do some analysis on some listings. I've got about 10 million listings that I can analyze here in my database at the moment, and I can figure out what categories and subcategories are getting the most views. So I'm going to there's going to be some homework for me, but I'm going to come back with an answer to this question so that you can get a sense of what categories and subcategories are getting the most views, and hopefully those give you an indication of where sales are likely to be coming from as well. And the other question that that was asked was around long tail keywords and what the benefits of those are. And I don't know about people that are listening here and watching, but I'm a huge fan of long tail keywords because of three big reasons. One is there's less competition, so it's easier for you to stand out and get the attention of buyers. The second is that there's a much higher purchase intent. And what that means is that when people are searching for long tail keywords, they're very specific terms. An example could be 18-inch silver necklace, very specific. The user or the buyer has done their research at this stage, and they're very, in their mind, they're much clearer about what they want to buy. So there is this higher purchase intent, and with that comes higher conversion rates. So these are great words to include in your titles and tags. If you can find ones that make sense to you, that look like the sort of search terms that the buyers would be searching for when they're about ready to purchase, then I'd be recommending you try and include these into your titles and descriptions in good places. So, Liren, I could talk for many hours about long tail keywords, but I'll stop there and let you ask questions.
Yeah, so let me translate what you just said in few words. Wow, that's tough. בעצם הוא דיבר, היה כאן שאלה על מילות זנב ארוך. מה היתרון של מילות זנב ארוך וכמה הן חשובות? אז דבר ראשון שהוא נתן כאן את הדוגמה שרשרת ארוכה של 18 קראט. שמי שכותב דבר כזה, אז הוא כבר מוכן הוא מבושל, זה מישהו שכבר יודע בדיוק מה הוא מחפש, ואז סיכויי ה-conversion, סיכויי ההמרה הם הרבה יותר גבוהים. זה דבר ראשון. מעבר לזה, מנוע, זה אני קצת מוסיף מעבר למה שהוא אמר, שמנוע חיפוש של אצי ידע לחפש בתוך השרשרת זהב 18 קראט, גם אם מישהו יחפש רק שרשרת 18 קראט, או רק שרשרת זהב, וכדאי, מה שהוא ממליץ, זה גם לפי מה שהוא רואה בנתונים, של להשתמש בביטויי זנב ארוך, זה עדיף מאשר ביטויים קצרים. אוקיי. I translate it.
Okay.
Hopefully successfully.
Okay, good. So you said you had a few other questions. So did you want to ask those now?
Yeah, please. I will ask. So the first question: what are the search term, the search term that most actually the buyers are looking for? Not just the sellers, but what are the most popular search terms?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. The thing I want to make very clear is that Etsy don't share that information with anyone. They keep that very secretive. And the same goes with Amazon and eBay. They don't tell you what the most popular search terms are. And any company that does that, you should be very wary because that is misleading. What we need to do in order to try and figure out what the most popular search terms are is use tools like the Google Keyword Planner or the Bing Ads Intelligence. They're great ways to tell you what the population is looking for, what people are searching for, because we know that for the most part, people will search on Google or Bing first before they start searching elsewhere. So that's where their research begins. So with etsyrank, and I'll demonstrate this in a few minutes, we have data that comes in from Bing and also from Google Shopping, which will give you ideas around what are more popular keywords. So I hope that answers your question, Valiran.
Yeah, so let me translate it once again. שאלתי בעצם מה המילים הכי פופולריות, מה החיפושים הכי נפוצים באצי, אז דבר ראשון זה שאצי מבחינתו, זאת אומרת מבחינת אנטוני, אצי לא נותנים את המידע. זה מידע סודי שאצי לא משחררים אותו, ככה שאם יש גם מישהו שאומר את זה, זאת אומרת זה מה שהוא אומר, שאם יש איזו חברה אחרת שמתיימרת להגיד שהיא יודעת מה מילות המפתח, אז זה לא נכון, הם לא יודעים מה מילות המפתח, אבל הדרך לדעת מה מילות המפתח הנפוצות ביותר, זה משהו שאני גם משתדל להראות לכם, זה לחפש דרך הגוגל אדוורדס בעצם, ודרך הגוגל טרנדס, ודרך הגוגל שופינג בעצם לראות מה אנשים מחפשים, ומתוך זה להבין, וגם אפשר לראות באתסירנק, שבדירוג עצמו, אנטוני שולח אותנו באמת לאצי טרנדס. אוקיי, אנטוני, thank you.
אוקיי, alright.
יש לי שאלה.
כן, כן.
באתסירנק הוא משתמש בחיפושים של הגוגל אדוורדס?
Anthony, the question was for you. Why don't you answer?
Okay. Well, can you translate?
Yeah. So, are you looking on etsyrank? Are you using the Google AdWords yourself?
No, I use Bing Ads Intelligence, which is very similar, but I'm investigating using Google keyword tool as well.
And you are also sending us to the Google Trends.
Yep. So we do integrate some Google Trends into the keyword tool, and I can show you that in a minute. That shows you the keyword trends on Google Shopping.
Okay, so חווה, מה שאנטוני אומר שהוא לא משתמש בגוגל אדוורדס, אלא משהו אחר של בינג, בינג זה של מייקרוסופט, זאת אומרת שזה אומר שזה עובד על אותו עיקרון. Okay, thanks.
Okay. And did you have any other questions?
Yeah, okay. Why on the rank checker? About the rank checker, I will translate the question before you'll answer, okay? About the rank checker, why are I'm searching for myself, I can find it on your, on etsyrank that I'm on the second page, but technically I'm maybe on the sixth page or sometimes on the first page. How come it's not similar to the real thing? בעצם שאלתי אותו, את אנטוני, על מה קורה ברנק צ'קר, למה אנחנו לא תמיד מוצאים את עצמנו בדף, שאתסירנק אומרים שאנחנו בדף הראשון, מדוע לפעמים אנחנו נמצאים בדף השני ולהפך. אוקיי, אנטוני?
Okay. So the thing to note about the rank checker, obviously you are going to see differences between there and what you see on etsy.com. Primarily, the differences are due to personalization. And if you remember last year, around about September or October, Etsy rolled out new algorithms that have artificial intelligence and machine learning that does a much better job of personalizing results now. And what that means is that for all 35 million Etsy users, I could search for silver necklace and get very different results to what you search for or what you get when you search for silver necklace. And this means that what you were used to seeing is no longer similar to what other people are seeing. So if you were to search on your computer or on your phone or on your neighbor's computer, you may see similar results there because you are in the same physical location or you're searching around about the same time. But someone that's in the USA or Canada or UK could be seeing very different results for exactly that same search term. Someone further south in the country could be seeing very different results. And this to me was very confusing. I think it confused a lot of people because when you work on your SEO, the first thing you want to do is look at how effective your changes have been. Did it work? So you go into Etsy, you search for those terms, you see your listing on page 6, 7, 8, or something like that, and you're disappointed, you're frustrated, you're wondering what you're doing wrong. What effectively has happened is Etsy is personalizing those results to show what they think you are going to buy. Now, if you're not going to buy from your own shop, there's no point in showing your own listing high up on the search results. So they're going to try to sell you something. That's their whole mission, you know, they need to sell. So your results will appear further down, ones that are personalized to people with the same sort of search patterns, purchase history, even the time of day. Those results will start to appear closer to the top of the page. Where I was very curious was to understand, is the rank checker still relevant? And so I asked the Etsy developer support team to review the code that I use to fetch those results. And their response was that what comes back and what's being displayed in the rank checker is still a very good indication of what the average user will be seeing. And this is what we've got to think about now. If there are 35 million different variations for the same search term, we now have to look at things and go, well, what is the average person seeing? Obviously, what I see is going to be very different to everyone else. What does it look like on average? So the bottom line is, or my point is, if you see the results in the rank checker on page 1, 2, or 3, something like that, that's really good. You are doing well. That is what the average person is going to be seeing on any given day. So if you see that, good news. Don't be disappointed if you see your listings on page 6 or 7 when you go and type it onto Etsy. That's because it's being personalized for you. You have to think about what the average person is seeing now. And lastly, what this does is it means you need to start paying more attention to your Etsy stats. So you need to get into your Etsy seller dashboard and look at those keywords and pay attention there more than ever before, because that's going to be your real source of good information. But the rank checker will give you a good idea of what the average person is seeing.
Okay.
Try and translate that, Valiran.
Try translate it like, okay. אבל היה כאן חדשות יחסית מרעישות. בעצם מה שאנטוני אומר, שזה גם ממידע שכבר דיברנו עליו בעבר שנינו, זה שהחיפוש הוא חיפוש פרסונלי, שיש חיפוש פרסונלי בעצם באצי, והתוצאות שאני רואה ואתם רואה, ואדם אחר רואה, גם אם זה מאותה מדינה וגם מדינה אחרת, מבוססות על המיקום, על החיפושים הקודמים שלו, על הרגלי קניות האחרונים, וכאלה, ולאו דווקא ספציפי, זאת אומרת, ולכן לא בטוח שנראה את אותם תוצאות. מה שהוא קיבל, המידע שאנטוני קיבל בעצם מאצי, שהוא היה מאוד מאוכזב, הוא קיבל הרבה תלונות שהאטסיראנק לא מדויק, אז הוא פנה לאצי, ובעצם הם אמרו לו שיש כל כך הרבה משתנים, ובעצם מה שהוא רואה דרך המערכת, הוא גולש מאחורי הקלעים, קוראים לזה API. אז בעצם, רק רגע, יש כאן פשוט הרבה רעשי רקע, אני מנסה למצוא את המפריע, אם אתם יודעים מי זה עושה את הרעש, תגלו לי, אני אשתיק אותו. לא מצאתי מי זה, אוקיי. אז אני אמשיך אותי פעלה. ובעצם מה שהוא אמר, שהחיפושים דרך etsyrank בעצם מראים את המחפש הממוצע, הסטנדרטי. ככה שאם ב-etsyrank אתם מוצאים את עצמכם כן בתוצאות, בדפים הראשונים, זה אחלה, כי מבחינה ממוצעת אתם נמצאים שם, שאתם מחפשים אתם בעצמכם מחפשים את החנות שלכם, כנראה שלא תמצאו אותה, כי אתם מעולם לא חיפשתם את עצמכם בעבר, זאת אומרת, מעולם לא קניתם מעצמכם בעבר, ולכן התוצאה היא שונה ממה שאתם מצפים לראות, ובעצם שוב, אם אתם כן נראים ב-etsyrank בדפים הראשונים, אז זה מצב טוב, אבל זה לא משקף את החיפוש שלכם האישי, אלא את החיפוש הכללי. Okay, Anthony, I think it was, I translated very well, because no one asking question.
Okay, all right.
And I'll ask you another thing, I think.
Yep.
1 minute, okay. Okay, it's a good question. About your competitors, what's the difference from etsyrank and the others? Okay, there is some other application that doing kind of maybe the same, giving us keywords. What are your benefits?
Okay, I think that first of all, I'm not a salesman, so I'm not going to try and push you to buy my product. I'll give you as much opportunity to see the product. Like I said earlier, 95% of the site is free for you to use. I have built this from a perspective of how to solve users' problems, and I've used my search engineering background to try and build it in a way that is useful. And what I think I've got compared to other sites out there is the broadest range of tools to help you with multiple problems. And I think if you look at the demonstration I'll give you in a few minutes, and on the site you'll see that there are tools there to help you with pricing, to help you pick categories, to help you learn from your competitors, to help you understand what's going on in the marketplace. And I think that this diversity really helps you in so many ways that none of the other competitors have been able to do. So I think that massive range and I'm so willing to give people access to so much of the site for free. I think they're the key benefits and differentiators from the other competitors.
Okay. You answered 12 points, you know, in Hebrew you said. 12 נקודות בעצם, הוא ענה יפה. שאלתי אותו בעצם, מה הוא לעומת המתחרים, מה היתרונות שלו? אז קודם כל התחיל להצטנע שהוא לא איש מחירות, אז הוא לא הולך למכור את התוכנה, אבל בסך הכל 95% מהאתר etsyrank הוא חינמי, וזה אחד הדברים. דבר שני, יש באמת הרבה מגוון, יש גם תמחור וגם קטגוריות, למצוא את הקטגוריה, וגם למצוא צבעים, וגם שגיאות כתיב. זאת אומרת, יש כאן מגוון מאוד רחב מעבר למילות המפתח, ובזה הוא אומר שהוא חושב שאין אחרים שעושים, נותנים כל כך הרבה. One last question, can I ask? About the speller, spell checker, sorry.
Yes, sir.
בעצם אני רציתי לשאול אותו לגבי שגיאות הכתיב, why it's only on the tags, technically, and what are the benefits of it?
Okay, so with spell checking, spelling something wrong is almost like the arch enemy of SEO. Sure, search engines can correct your spelling, but I would never rely on that. And one of the things that I also look at is, as a buyer, has the seller paid attention to everything, how they've described the product? And if I see spelling mistakes and I see stuff that looks like it's sloppy, I worry about the quality of the product, and that turns me off. So I think it's very important to get your spelling right. At the moment, we only check the spelling in the tags, partially because it was very easy for me to do that. But there is a plan to start checking the spelling for words in titles, because I think that's also extremely important. And I'll look at descriptions, but that's a little bit harder because there are special characters that are typed in there. There are different languages that are typed in there. So that may come later on, but at the moment it's tags only, and there are a few sections where you can see me or the tool starting to check the spelling in the titles as well.
Okay, so actually, אני עובר לעברית, I'm moving to Hebrew, sorry. בעצם, היום מתקן שגיאות הכתיב של האטסיראנק עובד רק על התגיות, זה לא עובד כרגע על הכותרות, על הכותרות זה כן יכול לעבוד. בהמשך הוא אומר שהמידע שאנחנו גם יודעים, שאצי לא בודקים את תוכן התיאור המוצר, ככה שאין טעם כל כך לתקן בתוך תיאור המוצר, אבל מבחינת עבודה גם, מבחינת מסת עבודה זה הרבה יותר מורכב, אבל כן, יש תוכניות לעשות את זה בהמשך. Okay, Anthony, so let's see actually a demonstration about etsyrank.
Okay, all right. So I'll go through 6 or 8 different features today. Hopefully we've got enough time to do that. For privacy reasons, I'm going to show a few screenshots with some information blurred out because I don't think some shops would like me to be showing their data. So please forgive me for that. But some of the screenshots, or I will show you some of the tools in action live. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with the keyword tool, and Woliran, stop me at any time if questions.
For now, we see only the page of your presentation.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see? It should say keyword tool / bulk keyword tool now. Is that right?
No. I think you shared only this presentation and not the whole screen.
Oh, let me, how about now?
Now it's the same.
Uh-oh.
So maybe you can stop sharing and then try to share it once again. Because all we saw is till now all we saw is the first page of your presentation. Now I can see keyword tool, bulk keyword tool, problems.
Huh. Okay, bear with me here. 1 second. How about now?
Now I can see etsyrank.
Okay. All right. So did you see any of this?
We haven't seen anything of the, even when you think about the Israeli guys, it was all just we heard about it. Okay, this is something interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about this quickly before we go into the demo?
אוקיי, בעצם מה שמראה לנו כאן זה שזה הממוצע המחירות של המוכרים בעולם, אז מטורקיה יש 610 מחירות, אבל מה שכאן בממוצע לחנות, אבל הוא טוען שיש כאן איזה 2-3 חנויות שמוכרות בכמות ענק פשוט, והן מושכות את הממוצע ממש ממש גבוה. ארצות הברית מן הסתם, מכיוון שזה ארצות הברית, וקנדה מכיוון שקנדה הם המובילות, ואחר כך אנחנו נמצאים פשוט מעבר לאנגליה, שנחשבת בירה, או אפשר להגיד שזה אחת המדינות הכי מתפתחות מבחינת האינטרנט, מבחינת הקניות האינטרנטיות, וגם מעבר לאוקראינה וצרפת, אבל אנחנו ממש מדורגים מהגבוהים ביותר בכמות המחירות פר חנות, אז אחלה, אוקיי, אנטוני, I saw them.
Okay, all right.
One question, just one question about the Turkish shops. What are the? What are they selling? You know, the ones that take the most of the sales. I guess it's craft supply.
Most likely, there's a very quick way for us to do that. Can you see my screen?
Okay, I can see your screen.
Okay, if you just watch what I do here. So here are the top sellers from Turkey, and you can see craft and supplies. That's the most dominant category there, and they've got 3 shops that have sold well over 100,000 listings in there.
Okay, thank you.
But you can find that information in top sellers.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the keyword tool. What I wanted to show you here, let me collapse this. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, great. So what I've done here is search for vintage silver necklace. It's a good sort of long tail sort of keyword. You can see, and all users will be familiar with this, there's a very high level of competition here. The demand is kind of in the middle, so it's not super popular, but it's not searched rarely either. It's also got very low engagement as well, so that may be a problem. But what I wanted to show you, especially with the pro version, is what we do is for people that are very passionate about long tail keywords, we show you where that term is on the long tail graph. So something that was up here would be searched thousands of times a day. Search things that are searched here maybe only searched 10 times a day or something like that. So not searched very often, but ideally if it's a good long tail keyword, it may lead to more sales. It may have a good conversion rate. Mm-hmm. The next thing I wanted to show you was trend information. So we graph how popular that term is over the year. And you'll see that for most of the year, not searched very much at all. But guess what happens around here? So in the US, Canada and Australia, Mother's Day is coming up. So guess what people are searching for? They're searching for more jewelry, and it's starting to become very popular. And why this trend information is very useful is it helps you plan your marketing, it helps plan your product development. You may be listing a whole load of things at this time of the year. That's too early in the year. But you want to be planning maybe 30 or 60 days out so that you can take advantage of this increase in demand. That's why trending information is very important. If it goes the other way, if it's falling down, that often happens after Christmas. It's good to know this trend information as well, because sometimes people panic and they may have had great sales in November and December, and then come January they're starting to panic. Well, that's normal. That's typical trend search trending that happens in the US, in Canada, Australia. I'm sure Israel has very similar patterns as well. Mm-hmm. So that's the search trend graph that etsyrank Pro users get, and the long tail graph.
1 minute, so for translation, בעצם זה הגרף שראינו עכשיו, זה נמצא באטסי פרו. הגרף השמאלי מראה את הביטויים, ככל שהביטויים הם יותר, הגרף השמאלי, מסתכלים על הצד השמאלי יותר, זה אומר שזה ביטויים מאוד, שמחפשים אותם בכמויות מאוד גדולות, וכדאי מאוד להשתמש בהם. ומצד ימין זה הטרנדים, בעצם אפשר לראות שלפי תקופות בשנה, ומה שהוא אמר, תראו את העלייה שקורית עכשיו ברגעים אלה, למה הגרף עולה למעלה? כי ה-Mother's Day, בעצם יום האם מתקרב, והאמריקאים מחפשים פריטים לקראת יום האם, ובעצם הוא דיבר כאן מבחינה מסחרית, זאת אומרת, לא מבחינה, זאת אומרת שיש דברים טרנדים לכבוד יום האם, צריך להתכונן לזה, ואת הפריטים שלכבוד יום האם צריך להכניס, ולדעת שעליהם ללחוץ יותר, עליהם לקדם יותר, אולי להקפיץ אותם יותר לעשות רניול לפריטים, או אולי לעשות להם מודעות ממומנות יותר בתקופה הזאת של את הפריטים שנראה לכם שיותר יתאימו ל-Mother's Day. Okay, thanks, Anthony.
Okay. The next thing I wanted to show, what I've done here in this other trend section, this comes from Google Shopping. So again, it helps you understand what the level of interest is. And if you start to see spikes like this, then you can start to understand that around March and April time is more popular with Google as well. That was what I wanted to show you there.
1 minute. So, one question, Anthony. Sure.
Yes.
I think I just want to ask you, and to be sure, everything that that you're showing us now, it's from the etsyrank Pro, right?
That's right, yeah.
כן. אז כל מה שאנחנו רואים עכשיו זה מה שקיים באטסי פרו בעצם, מה שאנחנו לא רואים בדרך כלל, בחלק בתשלום בעצם, זה החשיפה שהוא נותן לנו היום. אז אפשר לראות שגם לא רק באטסי, לא רק בגוגל, אלא גם בגוגל טרנדס, אפשר לראות שיש עלייה באזור מרץ לקראת היום האם. אוקיי, thanks.
Okay, yeah. All right. There's one other thing I wanted to show you here. In it's the related tag section. So a lot of people like to do research around their keywords. Sometimes you like to download it into Excel or CSV file. So the Pro members can see all these related tags and get great keyword ideas. They can get a sense of the competition and the demand and engagement levels, whether it's a long tail keyword. If you want to get very precise, maybe you want to find something that's got, let's say, a medium level of competition. And then you might go, okay, this is interesting for me. I also want to make sure that, let's see if we've got any high, no, we don't. Okay, we'll just use medium level competition. So I've just performed some filtering here. I can then download that into Excel, like so, and then I can do further processing of that information offline, build, big keyword lists and things like that. So that's what I wanted to show you there. That's a capability that the Pro members have, the ability to, yep.
And actually, the medium competition, it's actually the best for us, I guess. I mean, this is something that you recommend to be on competition?
No, I think that there's no single rule that applies to all listings, because each listing is going to be different. You've really got to pick words that are very relevant to your listing, and you've also got to keep in mind the mindset of the buyer as well. So you'll need to figure out the competition levels that you think work best for you. There's no great combination. I mean, I'd love to say low competition, very high demand, and very high engagement. But there are very, very few words that are like that.
אוקיי, בעצם ניסיתי ככה לתפוס אותו, שייתן איזה הפתעה שאני גם לא מוצא אותה, או לא יכול לדייק בדיוק, אבל בעצם שאלתי אותו, האם עדיף לנו לבחור תמיד את ה-medium competition, בעצם את התחרות הבינונית, שזה סביב ה-5,000 ליסטינג, בין 1,000 ל-5,000, ואז התחרות תהיה לא קשה מדי ולא קלה מדי. אז האמת שהוא אומר לא, הוא אומר, עדיף לכם להיות כמה שיותר מדויקים, ולאו דווקא מדויקים על הפריט, ולאו דווקא לרוץ על ה-medium competition, אלא שיהיה לכם את הביטויים שמתארים כמה שיותר את הפריט, ולא ללכת הצידה, שזה גם די הגישה שלי. פחות ללכת על הדברים הכלליים, וכמה שיותר לדייק. זה ככה יגרום ליחס המרה הרבה יותר טוב בין מה שהלקוח מחפש, עוד פעם, 18 קראט גולד רינג, הוא בדיוק ימצא את הפריט הזה, סיכויי הקנייה הרבה יותר גדולים. Okay, Anthony, thank you. One minute, there is one question. Okay, there was a question about the rank, about the listing, you know, the grades. Okay, if you are still checking how can I get an A or thing like this, you know, A, B, and C.
Okay.
But let's keep it for later, I think. Let's continue with this.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll get something ready in the background so that we can, I'll pick one of these listings here and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Okay. Just because you asked a little earlier, if I was looking for something that maybe I've got a strategy of finding medium demand keywords with high or very high engagement, I can do something like this just to help me get some more keyword ideas there. So I didn't want to make you think that medium competition was a must-have. It's really up to you and your preferences. Anyway, that's what I wanted to make sure there. Let's see. So the other thing, this is in the free version as well, but if you have a concern about pricing, maybe you're pricing too high or too low, you can go through here and get an idea of where most of your competitors are listing or pricing their listings at as well. So it gives you an idea of how to price it. That were the main things with the keyword tool that I wanted to show. Were there any more questions, Liren?
I'll ask. אם יש עוד שאלות על ה-keyword tool בעצם, אז הוא ישמח לענות. Okay, let's continue.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing I wanted to show you was, this is a fairly new feature for pro users. It's a bulk keyword tool. So this allows you to search for 20 search terms at a time, and it'll give you back the competition, demand, and engagement values for those. So if you like, I'll just type in a few search terms here. Pardon my typing. I won't do 20, I'll just do a few here. But you'll see it comes back very fast, so it really helps to speed up your research time. Again, you can export to PDF, Excel, CSV, and you can see the competition demand and engagement levels there. And I've also included the monthly Bing searches as well, so you can get an idea quickly about what is being searched for more on the internet and what's being searched for less. So you can see here that silver necklace is being searched many times more than gift for mum or Mother's Day necklace, and this is based on the data that we get from Bing.
One question, just about Bing. Technically, most of the people will search on Google, right?
That's correct. So Bing in the US is used by about 30% of the American people. Google, I think, is closer to 60%. Mm-hmm, yeah.
In Israel, I think maybe 1%. You know, we search only on Google.
It may be. Yeah, it may be. Yeah, okay. I was shocked when I saw that. I didn't believe it at first, even though I'd worked there for many years. But the data came in from ComScore and a few other people, and they're very trusted analytics companies that have been around for many years. So who am I to argue if they're doing their research?
Okay.
that was surprising.
So let me translate. I can translate.
Yeah.
בעצם מה שראינו עכשיו זה שיש keyword tool בעצם בפרו, שבעצם יכול לתת כאן רשימה של 20 מילים בבת אחת. הוא רשם כאן רשימת מילים, ונתן לו כאן את כל המילים ישר מה מצבם, פלוס מה מצב החיפושים בבינג בעצם. בינג זה המקביל של גוגל, רק שהוא של מייקרוסופט, והנתון שבעיניי מפתיע מאוד, זה ש30% מהאמריקאים מחפשים בבינג. זאת אומרת, 30% זה קהל מספיק, זאת אומרת, זה מדגם הרבה יותר ממייצג, גם אם הוא היה אומר לי 5% הייתי הולך על זה, ובעצם אפשר לראות כאן ממש חיפושים, שזה נתון מאוד חשוב, כמה אנשים מחפשים את זה, ואפשר לראות שאת הסילבר נקלס מחפשים הרבה יותר מאשר Mother's Day נקלס בעצם, וזה הביטוי כנראה המוביל שהיינו בוחרים כאן לשים אצלנו בפריץ. אוקיי? מעבר לזה, אפשר במערכת להוריד לאקסל את הקבצים, שזה נהדר, שזה הרבה יותר נוח אחר כך להעתיק אותם לתוך אצי. אוקיי, thanks. Anthony, okay.
I was just going to add that, okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, good. I was just going to add that that audience of about 30% of Americans, that equates to probably 60 or 70 million online Americans. So from a statistical point of view, it's very relevant. So
that's what I said. I just told them in Hebrew that even if you would have said that it's 5%, it's still a lot of people. Even if it was 5%, so 30%, it's more than fine. I mean, it's excellent.
Okay, all right. So let me just go back to my slideshow here. So I just showed you the keyword tool and the bulk keyword tool, and just to recap some of the problems, I probably should have started with this, but people have a lot of trouble finding keywords that people are searching for, and that's why I use things like Bing to help get an idea of what people are searching for. It's very hard to understand what terms of commercial intent or where people are going to buy. That's why the engagement is in there. And it's hard to find those long tail keywords. So I put graphs in there to help people find long tail keywords and understand the seasonal trends. And I think I've covered off the other aspects in there. Shall I move on to the next tool?
יש לי שאלה.
One question, כן?
אין איזו סתירה בין זה שההמלצה היא למילות מפתח ארוכות, אבל בעצם בטאג אנחנו מוגבלים מבחינת כמות תווים. ואתה לא יכול בטייטל להתחיל להעמיס מילות מפתח ארוכות.
אוקיי. איך אני אתרגם את זה, חווה? אוקיי. בעצם...
I will ask in English.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm asking if there isn't a problem between writing long keywords, long tail keywords, but in the tag we have a limit how long we can write there. So it's like...
I understand.
Yes, it's like an accident.
Yeah. So that's a really good question. In your tags, you've got 20 characters. Often the long tail keywords, they could be 30 characters or more. So what I recommend in those situations is you put those long tail keywords into your title, because you've got 140 characters, so you've got a lot of room in there. And if you think that these are good keywords to have, split them into 2 or 3 tags if you need to, or look at the other tags that you've got and just make sure that those words are in there somewhere. Because once you've got those words in there, Etsy will bring your results back if it finds any combination of those words in your title or tags.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Let me translate it. I just want to translate. זה המידע מאוד חשוב גם, שבעצם מה שאנטוני אומר זה גם, שבעצם מנוע חיפוש של אצי, גם אם התגית היא מאוד ארוכה, אפשר בעצם לשים, לפצל לכמה תגיות, וגם קצת בכותרת, ובעצם המנוע חיפוש ידע לקחת קצת מהכותרת, קצת מהתגיות, ויהיה בסדר. שלום מעיין. We have a visitor from the US. מה נשמע מעיין?
טוב, תודה.
You want to ask a question?
Yeah. Anthony, regarding just the question that was just asked, so do we have to have a perfect correlation between the title and the tags? I mean, if it's, I don't know, gift for mom, so does it have to be completely the same in the tags, or does the search engine sort of know how to pick and choose, you know?
Okay, so I can only tell you what I read from the sales handbook.
Anthony?
Oh.
I just want to tell them that this is something that we were expected. I mean, we knew that someone will ask it, and we have a bit of... we talked about it a lot, so go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Etsy will look for... It'll look at the search term. It'll break it up into what they call tokens, which is essentially each separate keyword. So if it can find each of those keywords somewhere in your title or your tags, it will consider that a match. So you'll appear in the results. It doesn't tell you where it's going to appear, whether it's high or low down in the results. But if you've got those words in there, that's great. Now, if you've got that sort of tight correlation or an exact match, that's going to help you. You can see that in the seller's handbook. They've said that they will favor results that have an exact match. So yes, it will definitely help if you can get those words in the same order. Words like for and the and of and a are considered stop words, so they're generally ignored by search engines. But if you can get those sentences to closely resemble what people are searching for, that's going to help your listing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So let's continue. Or you want me to try to translate it? בעצם היה כאן איזה שיחה, האם צריך שמילות המפתח יהיו גם בכותרת וגם בתגיות, אז ההסבר הטכנולוגי היה שאצי יודעים לפצל, גם התגיות, גם הכותרות הם יודעים לפצל ולהרכיב מילים חדשות. עדיין מבחינת המערכת, מבחינת אנטוני, הוא חושב שכן זה יהיה בסדר שיהיה הקבלה. הסיבה העיקרית שהוא אומר זה שהוא לא קיבל מידע עדיין מאצי, שזה לא ככה כבר. אני הראיתי לו גם בשיחות בינינו הקודמות, שזה לא ממש עובד, שהיום אין שום צורך שהתגיות והכותרות יהיו שונות. יש הרבה פריטים שאפשר לחפש נגיד תיק שחור לאישה, ואין את זה בכותרת, אבל בכל זאת זה עולה גבוה בחיפושים. התשובה הרשמית הייתה שאת אותם שאלות הוא גם שואל את אצי, הוא מחכה לתשובה רשמית כדי להוציא את זה, הוא לא יכול להרשות לעצמו להגיד שזה כבר שונה, כי אין לו תשובה כזאת מאצי כרגע. אנטוני, there was another question here about 1 minute.
לירן, לפני השאלה, הוא הזכיר גם בתשובה שלו אליה משהו של אותיות או מילים שבכלל לא מתבצע חיפוש עליהם.
כן, אוקיי. המילות השייכות, or, is, more, for, כל אלה אין צורך. זאת אומרת, זה לא צריך, הם לא מייחסים לזה חשיבות. There is another question about, does it mean if I write man or man with A and E? I mean, or woman and women?
Okay, so I asked Etsy this question very recently because a lot of people ask, does it matter if you have plural or singular? The good news is it doesn't matter. So Etsy is smart enough to realize that man and men or gift and gifts are essentially the same word from a search perspective, so it doesn't matter.
אוקיי, בעצם היה כאן שאלה על יחיד רבים, האם זה משנה? אז הוא אומר, גיפט, גיפטס, מתנה, מתנות, גבר, גברים, אין הבדל, אין צורך לרשום את זה פעמיים ביחיד וברבים. אוקיי, אנטוני, thank you.
Okay. The one thing I'd add is when you look at the title or the tags, make sure it's grammatically correct, because I still think that people will look at something and if it looks like a typo or it's a little bit sloppily put together, then it may turn them off.
Okay. So, I think I need you to in 2 words once again. I was muting someone. Yeah.
Okay.
if you can repeat it so I can translate it once again.
Oh, right, yeah. I was saying that I would still write the title so that it looks grammatically correct.
אוקיי. So, בעצם מה שאומר, אל תכתבו, נגיד, רבים או יחיד, שזה לא מתאים כאן בנושא הזה. זאת אומרת, תעשו הכל שהכותרת תהיה כמה שיותר נכונה ואמיתית. אוקיי, אז גם האותיות שייכות לא צריך. זאת אומרת, צריך לרשום, אין צורך בהם, אבל עדיין עדיף לרשום שזה יראה נורמלי. זאת אומרת, שיהיה כתיבה נכונה. זאת אומרת, נגיד מתנה, gift for woman, לא לכתוב gift woman. זאת אומרת, זה בסדר שהפור לא משמש כאן בחיפושים, אבל הוא נשמע יותר טוב. אוקיי, זהו, וכתבו כאן, נעמה הוסיפה, לכתוב שפה נכונה ודקדוקית ושפתית, ואנחנו מדברים לבני אדם ולא לרובוטים, שזה תרגום מצוין למה שאנטוני אמר. Thank you, Anthony. We can continue.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so one of the other features that I get a lot of feedback about, very positive feedback about on etsyrank Pro is the bestseller report. And the problems that this has been trying to address is to help you easily find which listings have sold the most on one screen. A lot of people with only a few sales, they know that, they memorize that. But if you've got a big shop with several hundred or several thousand sales, then it's very handy to understand which ones are selling better. And more importantly, which ones have got the best conversion rate. Because when you've got a good conversion rate, you've got a product that is more likely going to respond well to promoted listings or when you renew it. So it can give you some really good insight in one screen. You can go in and you can sort by the conversion rate column and look at the ones that are most popular. And those ones I'd be thinking, well, if I'm going to spend money on advertising, I want to make sure that I give myself the best possible chance of that converting. So I'd be looking for listings that have got the best conversion rates. So that's the bestseller report. Obviously, this one has some private information here, so I'm going to blur that out. That's just respecting people's privacy here. But this is a very handy tool for people that like to promote their listings or renew listings periodically. And it can also give you a sense of what listings you may want to remove from your shop if they've never sold.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Did you want to translate it or keep going?
Keep going. We'll translate because if they are not asking, so we'll continue. They understood.
All right. So the next feature in Pro that I wanted to talk about is the sales history. What this does is you can see every time your listing has sold in the past in one screen. And one of the key problems that this is trying to help you solve is, what have you changed to make it, what have you changed over time? Did you put in new tags? Did you change the title? Did you change the main image? And one of the benefits of having this information on one screen is, say, for example, you're trying to look at a listing that started to do well. You can go in there and look at what you added or what you removed and go, oh, maybe I can do this for another listing. Or on the flip side, if you tried something and you changed some tags on multiple listings or titles and it messed things up and your views dropped or your sales dropped, you can go back into your sales history and look at what those tags were when it last sold. And you can go, those are the tags or the keywords that I used to use. I'm going to put them back into my listing.
So this is for one listing what we see now, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so can I translate it?
Yes, please.
בעצם יש כאן משהו מדהים בעצם, או אם לצטט את מעיין, וואו, נכון, זה מעיין זאת שאמרה? בעצם בתגובות, כן, שאפשר לראות כאן את ההיסטוריה של הפריט ולהבין מה עובד עכשיו או מה עבד בעבר, מה שינינו, את כל השינויים שעשינו בעבר. זה כלי מצוין ל-A/B טסטינג בעצם, אם החלפנו תמונה, שינינו בעצם, אפשר לראות כאן, זה קצת בקטן אצלו, אבל הם החליפו תמונה, ואז פתאום המחירות גברו או הפסיקו, קשה לי לזהות כאן, או השתנו קצת התגיות, וזה השפיע על כמות המחירות. ממש דרך זה אפשר לראות את היסטוריית המחירות של הפריט, ולהבין לעקוב אחרי השינויים שעשינו בפריט, ואת זה לשכפל לפריטים אחרים בעצם. אוקיי, it's amazing actually.
Yeah, I really love it, and I think that one of the things I get really worried about people is when they hear a crazy theory on how to the secret to SEO success on Etsy, and they go and change all their listings, and then it's awful. And this is a great way for them to go back in and undo all those changes. That's a handy benefit to have there.
בעצם מה שאנטוני אומר כאן, שזה גם נושא מאוד רגיש, גם אצלנו בקבוצה, שאני גם מאוד משתדל לא לצאת בכל מיני הצהרות דרמטיות, תעשו ככה שינויים דרסטיים, והוא אומר שאנשים עושים את זה מדי פעם, שומעים, קוראים איפשהו, כדאי לעשות ככה, ואז עושים איזה שינוי גורף לכל החנות, ואז זה נעצר. אז הוא אומר, אז כאן לפחות יש לך את ההיסטוריה, לחזור אחורה, לראות מה עשית בעבר, את התמונה, את הכותרות ואת התגיות, ולתת כאן בעצם reverse engineering, בעצם לחזור אחורה ולראות איפה שינית ולתקן את זה. אוקיי, thank you.
I understood 2 words there, reverse engineering.
That's what they understood as well, I guess.
Okay. So another problem, and this is one of the most important things, I think, in order to be successful on Etsy. You need to get good, positive reviews. They're very hard to fake. Spammers and scammers can't artificially create good, positive reviews. It's hard work. And what the big problems are is when you get negative reviews, they really harm your reputation. You know, I'm not going to buy from a shop that's got a 3-star reputation. That's me personally. I've lost money on the internet before because of that. I'm not going to do it again. So this tool is really to help you protect your 5-star review or 5-star rating and keep your feedback score as high as possible. And, you know, a lot of people I've seen will ask me, why did my sales drop? And I go into their shop and I'll look and I'll go, well, because you just had 3 bad negative reviews in the last 3 weeks or things like that. Maybe you couldn't keep up with the load or something like that. So this was really to help people become aware that their reputation is important, and that if you get a neutral or you get negative feedback, that can hurt your reputation. And so I wanted to make that visible to users, visible to sellers, so that they can go, here's a problem. You know, I might have some negative or neutral feedback in here. This is a seller from France that got some negative feedback. You've got 100 days to convince that buyer to change their mind. So maybe it's something easy you can fix. If that's the case, do it. Your reputation is worth more than, you know, a $5 or a $10 item. You know, how much is your good reputation worth? So I would look at that and go, I'd go and contact that buyer and say, I'm really sorry. What can I do to make it better for you? You know, obviously you can't throw away money, but if it's within reason, I would encourage you to really consider that and see if they can turn that negative review into a positive review or just remove it. It'll help protect your reputation. It'll get your 5-star rating solid, and you'll get your feedback score closer to 100%, which is really good from an Etsy perspective. If you've got good 100% feedback scores, Etsy are going to trust you more than any other shops that are out there, and that's going to help you rank higher. So that's why I built the ratings and feedback tool, and I recommend that people take advantage of this. If you use etsyrank Pro, go in here regularly, make sure that your feedback score is, you know, 99 or 100%, and that your star rating is 5 or very, very close to that. And if you see any negative or neutral feedback, reach out to the buyer, ask them what you can do to make them happy.
So you're saying 2 things. First thing is that buyers will not buy from me because I have 3 stars. But the other question, do you think that Etsy will rank me lower because I have 3 stars?
Absolutely.
Okay. I knew the answer, but I wanted them to hear. Let me translate. בעצם, הכלי הזה, בעצם מה שהוא מציג כאן, זה שוב באצי, בפרו, שכאן הוא מראה את הפידבקים השליליים ואת האחוזים שלהם, שהוא אומר, תכנסו כל יום ותראו מה המצב, ותשפרו את זה. בעצם יש כאן 2 צדדים. א', שזה obvious, לקוחות לא קונים מחנויות שיש להם 3 כוכבים, ואפילו גם לא מ4 וגם... לפעמים גם לא מ4.5, אבל בטח מחנות של 3 כוכבים ומטה לא יקנו. מעבר לזה, הדירוג, זאת אומרת, זה מידע פנים גם, זאת אומרת, הדירוג בוודאות נפגע, שקיבלתם פידבקים שליליים, פתחו לכם קייסים או דברים כאלה, הדירוג נפגע, פשוט אצי עוצרים אתכם, תעשו כל מה שאפשר, גם מה שאומר כאן, אל תסתכלו על $5 או $10 של העסקה עצמה, תחשבו על הרפיוטיישן של החנות שלכם, כמה שווה לכם השם שלכם, זה לא עניין של כבוד, זה עניין של דירוג בסופו של דבר. השם נפגע, קיבלתם פידבק שלי, תעשו את כל מה שאפשר כדי להעלות אותו. קודם כל, מה שאפשר זה ברמה האישית מול האדם, לנסות לפתור מולו את העניין. הרמה השנייה זה פשוט לנסות לשנות את זה ולהצליח להביא עוד מחירות כדי לעלות יותר, שזה ייתה יותר ל5 כוכבים, אם אתם לא מצליחים לפחות לשכנע את האדם עצמו למחוק את הפידבק השלילי. ואפשר לעשות עד 100 יום, זה מה שאומר כאן, פידבק רוויז'ן, בעצם שהאדם עצמו ישנה את הפידבק, הקונה שלנו. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the next one is, this one I see a lot of people using multiple times a day. It's a competitor sales tracker.
Okay.
And if you've seen this one, Waliran, you may understand the importance and the value that this can offer to sellers. First of all, probably every seller out there will panic or get very nervous when their sales suddenly drop. And, often you will look at other sellers and you get intimidated by them because they've got, 5,000 sales and you've barely got 100 or something like that. And you feel like, you have no chance to succeed. And because there's so little insight on how your niche or your category is performing, I wanted to give people this tool because I know a lot of people use pen and paper. They write down each day how many sales their competitor has had. It's very manual. It's very prone to error. So what I did here was I gave people the ability to put in all the names of their competitors, up to 20 or up to 30 now, so that you can track how many sales they have each day. And this is really good because if you have that day or a few days when your sales drop, you may not need to panic. It may be everyone's having a bad day or a couple of bad days. It could be seasonality, right? So, it's really important to see this. It eliminates panic. I've seen a lot of people, their sales drop over the weekend. It comes to Monday and they're going, oh my God, I'm going to redo all my tags. You don't need to. Sometimes it's just normal. It could be a long weekend or a holiday in the US or Israel, and it's just normal. So it's very important to find, shops that are your peers or your competitors and understand how they're doing as well. The next thing is a lot of sellers will look at, really successful shops for inspiration. And I've seen a lot of shops that did really well 10 years ago and they've got, 15, 20,000 sales. And you would think, wow, these are people to learn from, to imitate or copy some of their ideas. But maybe they don't do so well nowadays. Maybe your inspiration is not the best guidance. So it's very good to have a good view of what your competitors are doing from a daily basis. You can see from a weekly perspective who's doing really well and overall who's doing really well. So this is to me, I think is a very, very valuable tool to help you learn from your competitors and from your peers, to stop you from panicking unnecessarily and to really give you an idea of how your niche or your market or your category is performing.
Okay. This is something it's amazing. מה שיש כאן בעצם, אמרת לו שזה מדהים, אבל זה באמת מדהים. בעצם, יש לו כלי שעוקב אחרי, אני יכול לשים כאן שמות של המתחרים שלי. הוא לקח את זה בצורה הקנדית או האמריקאית, אפשר להגיד, כאילו, הוא אומר, דווקא הוא לקח את זה בצורה יותר רגועה, הוא אומר, בואו תראו שיש לכם יום רע או שבוע רע, תסתכלו אצל התחרות שלכם, אצל המתחרים, האם הם עדיין מוכרים ואתם לא, או שזה רק אתם ככה? ובדרך כלל מה שיקרה זה שכולם לא מוכרים באותה תקופה, כי זה בדיוק יום אחרי, או שבוע אחרי יום האם, או שבועיים אחרי קריסמיס, זאת אומרת, יש איזו ירידה עונתית אולי, וכולנו לא מוכרים, או אולי לא, אולי באמת יש לכם בעיה, אבל לפחות כאן אנחנו רואים את זה בעיניים פקוחות, שזה לא רק אצלי קורה, אלא שזה כל הסביבה שלי מוכרת פחות או מוכרת יותר. גם אם לי יש הצלחה, מעניין לראות אם זה קשור דווקא בגלל שאנחנו עכשיו לפני יום האם, ולכן הולך לי טוב, כי לכל השוק, לכל הנישה שלי הולך טוב. זה מתאים מעבר לזה, זה גם, הוא אומר, אנחנו נוטים לעקוב אחרי מוכרים חזקים, יש כאן מוכרים שיש להם עשרות אלפי מחירות, אבל לפעמים זה מה שהיה להם בעבר, והם כבר איזה שנה או שנתיים בקושי מוכרים, אז כאן, לפני שמסתנברים, אפשר לראות כמה הם מוכרים כל יום בעצם. אתם יכולים לראות מה המצב האמיתי של המתחרים שלכם, וכן, יש כאן שאלות שחוזרות לגבי האם, כל מה שאנחנו רואים כרגע, ובכלל, כל הסיבה שכאן הזמנתי את אנטוני, זה להראות לנו את הפרו, בעצם את המערכת שאנחנו לא רואים, את האינסייט הפנימיים של הדברים שלא ראינו, אז כל השקפים שראינו עד רגע זה מה שיש בפרו, אוקיי? אוקיי, אנטוני?
Okay.
I just think there is two questions.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. They ask about if everything that we saw here is from the Pro.
This is all from the Pro.
Yes, okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Those 5% are the 95% important. I mean, it's very important that we saw here. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I think a good value.
Yeah, it's a good value.
Thank you. All right. So the next one is the tag report. And I'm going to switch back to my browser so you can see this one. But basically, a lot of shops, especially new shops, they either choose poor keywords or they need help picking good keywords. And a great way to do that is to look at some of your competitors or shops that you find very inspirational to get an idea of what they do. Okay. And so what we've got here, I've changed the name of the shop just to respect their privacy. But this here gives you an idea of what sort of tags a shop is using. And this is a very popular jewelry shop that has been successful for many years. And this basically what I've done here is I wanted to analyze the tags. So I take their most 100 recently updated listings, which typically are the ones that have sold recently or been renewed recently. And what I do is I analyze what tags they've used. I take 100 listings and say, okay, how many of them are high competition, how many of them are medium demand or high engagement or whatever it is. And you'll see with this shop, they like to choose very high competition tags that have got a medium or a low level of demand and very high or high engagement. So you can kind of get a sense of what keywords are working well for this shop. But more importantly is when you go down and you start to look at those tags that they've used in greater detail. And so what I've done here is I've broken down each tag that we've found in those 100 listings. This person likes to put their shop name as one of the tags. I don't know whether that's good for new shops that people don't know their brand yet, but that's what this shop does. But you can see here straight away Mother's Day. So they've changed 93 out of 100 listings have now got Mother's Day gift in their tag somewhere. So this is very good information to have. If you're selling jewelry, then you can see from the leaders, this person has said Mother's Day gift. This is what needs to be in all of my listings or nearly all of my listings. So this is really good learning for new sellers and even for established sellers. If you want to look at what the best out there are doing, this is what they're doing. You can see that they're targeting birthstones, gift for her, and so forth. You can read through that. You can go through each page like so. And again, you can export these to Excel and do further analysis on them. But this is a great tool for etsyrank Pro members if you want to learn how to tag your listings based on other shops that are very, very successful.
Okay. So this בעצם הכלי הזה, I translate it into English, 1 minute. by mistake. בעצם הכלי הזה בעצם מראה לי, אני יכול לרשום כאן חנות מתחרה, או חנות מצליחה מאוד, ולנסות להבין מה היא עשתה כאן. אז מה שהוא מראה כאן, תראה, מתוך 100 הפריטים המובילים שלהם, 93 הם שמו כרגע Mother's Day gift. בעצם הם מתייחסים מאוד ל-Mother's Day, אז אם החנות כזאת מצליחה מתייחס לזה, חנות שקובעת את הטון, אולי גם לנו שווה בתקופת ה-Mother's Day לשים את התגית הזאת, וגם הנושא של הבירת'סטון, טוב, אנחנו כאן בתכשיטים, אבל מאוד רלוונטי כנראה לקהל האמריקאי, הם אוהבים את האבנים שקשורות לחודש ההולדת. מבחינתו זה כלי מאוד מתקדם, שקל לנו לעקוב אחרי מצליחנים באצי. אוקיי, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nearly at the end now. So, One of the other...
אנחנו עוד, זאת אומרת, אנחנו כבר לקראת סיום לכל מי שככה זז באי נוחות, אז זאת אומרת, עוד רגע מסיים את המצגת. ואז יש זמן לעוד שאלות קצת. כן. Yes, I'm with you, sorry.
Okay, all right. So one of the other problems that happen, this is a very a pleasant dilemma. If you have a lot of sales, especially say around Mother's Day or Christmas time, which are obviously peak selling periods in the US, sometimes you have difficulty tracking where your listings are. And so if you're shipping out 30 or 40 items a day or more, and you're getting nervous, you don't know where they are, you can go into this report here and you can quickly check the status, whether it's been delivered, whether it's going to be shipped in a few days' time, or whether it's in transit. And this is a very convenient feature if you want to quickly check where your shipments are. So that's what I wanted to show there.
Okay, so בעצם מה שאנחנו רואים כאן זה שגם צרות טובות, שאתם מוכרים בכמויות ואתם לא יודעים איפה הפריטים נמצאים בכל מקום, אז המערכת, אני מבין שהמערכת שואבת כאן מהאורדרס של אצי את מספר המעקב, ומחפשת איפה זה נמצא בכל מקום בעולם, כל פריט ופריט. זאת אומרת, מה הסטטוס שלו, אם הוא נשלח, נמסר וכאלה. אוקיי, it's very good tool.
Yes, very straightforward. It's convenient having it all in one page.
Okay.
Liren, that was really what I wanted to cover off today. So before I wrap up, did you have any other questions that you wanted to ask? There was one that was asked earlier about how do I get an A grade? Shall we go over that?
Okay, בעצם השאלה, yes, please, I will translate while you're going to there. בעצם היה שאלה איך לקבל ציון A מבחינתו, ומה זה אומר? הציונים ב-grades בעצם. Yes, we're with you.
Okay, all right. So the first thing I want to point out is the grade, it just guides you on whether there are areas of improvement in how you've placed your keywords in the title, in the tags, or in the description. It doesn't grade you on whether you use a really good keyword or not. That's a very important thing to point out, because a really good keyword is very subjective. There's no algorithm that can tell you this is a really good keyword to use for a silver necklace. That's up to you. But this tells you how you've used those words, where you've placed them, and does it follow the best practices that Etsy have spelled out in their seller handbook, or Google have published in their webmaster guide. So that's how the grade works. I think it's very important to make sure that people understand that, and that just looking at the grade by itself doesn't mean you've done everything to be successful. You know, it just says whatever keywords you've used, you put them in good placements that Etsy think, I know what this listing is about now. So I could put it in, I could get an A grade for xylophone key replacements or something crazy like that. So that, yeah, patterns. It's about where you use those keywords. I'll keep going because I can overtalk this.
אוקיי, אז הוא אומר כאן שהמילות מפתח זה, הוא לא אומר מה המילה הטובה ביותר לשים, אבל האם שמנו אותה בעצם, האם היא נמצאת כאן, ועוד רגע נראה שהוא בודק כאן, אני רואה את סימני הפיסוק, האם יש כאן וכאלה. אוקיי.
Okay, so what I'm trying to show on the screen here, hopefully you can see it okay, is I've got two sections in here, the title analysis and the tag analysis. And one of the most important things that Etsy tells us is the beginning of the title holds most influence in search. So what you put at the beginning here in the first 40 or 50 characters needs to be really strong for your listing, very relevant for your listing. So, you know, it should be very precise, should be very descriptive, and give people no doubt about what the listing is. So in this case, they've got a Yemeni vintage silver necklace. That's very clear what it is. Don't do something like, this is a really beautiful thing that mum will like, because that doesn't tell us anything about what that listing is. So that's the first thing I want to make sure people understand. Those first 40 to 50 characters, 40, 45 characters are the most important in your title. And to get an A grade or a B grade, which is still good, you've got to use some of these words in your tags as well. And why that is important is because, again, if you go into the seller's handbook, they will tell you if you repeat some of those words that you use in your title, if you repeat those in your tags, that sends extra emphasis to Etsy about your listing. So if you've got in there something like Yemeni, where are we? Yemeni silver. Bear with me here. So I'm trying to do two things at once here. If you've got these words appearing somewhere in the title, it's telling Etsy this is really important. This is something you need to pay attention to. So if you can get as many of those words into the title, that's great. If you can get those words near the beginning of the title or the start of the title, that is sending an even stronger signal to Etsy. So these are the things I'd be looking for. I'd be trying to get as many of these green as possible. You know, as many of these green as possible as well. It's not, shouldn't try and get all of them green because the title will look really stupid or you'll have some really weird looking tags in there. But try and get those green. Oftentimes people will get to a B, and that's because they've done everything right for Etsy, but they could probably do a little bit more to improve their SEO for Google. And what that means is getting some of those keywords into your description. And I don't know any seller out there that's complaining about having too many sales. So I'd say if you want to go that little bit further, start putting those keywords into your description as well. And don't put a keyword list of all, don't copy and paste your tags into the description because Google will look at that and they'll go, this is looking like spam.
משהו, sorry, but I'll translate. זאת לגבי הדסקריפשן, שא' לא להעתיק את הכותרת או סתם גיבוב מילים של מילות מפתח לתחילת הדסקריפשן, התיאור המוצר, כי זה לא עושה לנו שום דבר, ובטח לא לגוגל. תיאור המוצר נועד ללקוחה ולגוגל, אצי לא סורקים את תיאור המוצר בכלל. One question about the VIP.
Yep.
What does it mean?
This is the tag that is sending the strongest signal to Etsy.
And it does it because it's used in the title and at the start of the title?
Yes, sir. It's you'll see it in the tags and you'll see it closest to the title, the beginning of the title.
Okay, so here we have different opinion. I mean, here what I think happened in the last few months, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That Etsy is not, I mean, there's a lot of keywords that you can see that if I'll have them only on the title or only on the tags, even mostly only on the tags, and still I'll be on the first page and in a very good position.
Yep. Why?
What?
Is there a question there?
Yeah, so I'm not asking why it's on Etsy, but I'm asking why it's still on here. We can see it as grade A, but technically Etsy is asking us. That's what I saw on when Etsy CEO just had a video that he said the title is not, it doesn't count anymore. I mean, it doesn't count that much. I mean, it's important, but not that much. And you know, we understood that you don't have to copy the title exactly to the tags.
Yep. So I saw that video. I think that my interpretation of that was that some of this is coming in the future. That they plan to make it less important, so that you don't need to do as much work on your title and tags. But at this stage, my understanding is that that's in the future. What I've been doing here is basing what I see presently published by Etsy in their seller's handbook. So I think it's great for if you listen to these ideas that come from Etsy employees. These are great things to do maybe some A/B testing with, and to see whether there is some benefit that you're getting there. But I'm not going to change the way I do things here until that's published in the seller's handbook, because I want to make sure that I'm not saying something that contradicts what Etsy is saying. So
let me translate it.
Yeah.
בעצם מה שאני אמרתי לאנטוני, תראה, אפשר לראות שהיום יש פריטים, וגם מה שהיה בסרטון של ג'וש סילברמן, המנכל של אטסי, שראינו שכבר, שהוא אמר, הכותרת היא כבר לא הדבר הכי חשוב, זאת אומרת, יותר דגש על התגיות, ובעצם מה שהוא אמר שם זה, לא חייב לעשות קופי-פייסט מהכותרת לתגיות, ושאלתי את אנטוני, איך זה יכול להיות שעדיין כאן מקבלים ציון A, אם אתה מעתיק את זה, את הכותרת לתגיות. אז אני אסכם את זה למשפט האחרון שהוא אמר, עד שאצי לא כותבים את זה בסלר הנדבוק שהם שינו, אני לא יכול לכתוב כאן ולהודיע לכולם את השינוי. הוא עובד ממש ככה על פי, אצי אומרים לו מה השתנה, כל עוד הם לא שינו, לא הוציאו את זה בפומבי, הוא לא יכול לקחת אחריות ולהגיד לכם תשנו. אוקיי? בכל זאת זאת אומרת, מבין השורות אפשר להבין שכן, השינוי כבר קרה, ורק הוא לא מוסמך עדיין, או לפחות לא קיבל מאצי את התשובה, זה שאלות מן הסתם ששאלתי אותו גם עוד לפני כן, על הנושא הזה, מכאן התחלנו בעצם בסיעור מוחות בינינו, או סערת מוחות אפשר לקרוא לזה, שהיה דיון בינינו מה עובד, האם להעתיק או לא, זאת אומרת, שמה, אני רואה שזה לא 100% ככה, אבל אצי עוד לא כתבו את זה בסלר הנדבוק, אז אין מצב שאני הולך לשנות משהו אצלי, עד שאין לי מהם את התשובה הרשמית. אוקיי, אנטוני, so let's continue to the end of this presentation technique, okay?
Okay, so, all right. So I hope that gives you an understanding of how the grading works. I think that the final thing I wanted to say there was because keywords are very easy for people to put into the title and tags, it's easy for spammers and scammers to do that as well. So Etsy, they'll look at that and they'll get ideas about what your listing is, but really what you need to do is when you sell these items, you need to do everything you can to get a good positive review from these people, because that is really going to strengthen those keywords that you have used in your listings. It's going to tell Etsy that when someone searched for vintage necklace and they bought this item, it's going to give you your listing that much more credibility and strength for the next time when someone searches for that same search term. So you've probably told that to your followers there many times, but it's really important to do that, because that it's a mixture of what you can influence and what you can't influence, and that stuff that it gets really hard to influence often sends the strongest signals to Etsy. So get your keywords right, and then when it does sell, try and get that positive review. That really gives your listings a much greater chance of future success.
Okay. ובעצם מה שהוא אומר כאן להשתמש במילים נכונות, מילות מפתח אמיתיות שמשקפות את הפריט, זה יוביל למחירה, ואחרי שזה יוביל למחירה, שתקבלו ריוויו, אז הפריט הזה, בזכות הפריט הזה קיבלתם ריוויו, הפריט עצמו ידורג הרבה יותר גבוה, ספציפית הפריט עצמו, בגלל הריוויו עצמו. אוקיי, so let's go to the last thing, right? We wanted to talk about that. Okay.
Yep.
So let me do the commercial instead of you. You said that you are not a salesman, so let me help. Yep. After we'll give another few minutes for a question, maybe 2-3 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll speak in English and then in Hebrew. Yep. This is the link. You know, if you want to sign up for the Etsy Pro, it's $9.99. For the rest of the world, technically. I mean, when I ask Anthony to join us and to have this webinar, I asked him also a very Israeli request. Please give discount. No, I'm kidding. This is in Israeli language. But we ask for kind of a discount, kind of to get a better deal. And let's move to the next one. So actually, for the first month, if you want to try it, it will be $4.99, and later on it will be $8.99. You know, you don't need to commit for life, but for the next year, okay?
However long you use it.
Okay, as long as we use it. So let me translate. בעצם לכולם זה עולה $9.99, ואחרי דיון קצר, לא הייתי צריך הרבה להתאמץ, אבל אמרתי, תן לנו, אנחנו אוהבים להתנסות, אז תן מחיר, ובעצם קיבלנו את התוכנה ב-$4.99 למי שרוצה להתנסות, אני אומר את זה בעברית מן הסתם, אבל תשמעו, יש כאן, עם כמה שהוא עשה לי כבר סקירה מוקדמת, והתנסיתי בדברים האלה, היום הוא הראה עוד כמה דברים שאפילו לא שמתי לב שיש, על המתחרים וכאלה, שזה אדיר, 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 ומעבר לזה, גם אם שתמשיכו, אם תחליטו להמשיך עם המנוי הזה, יהיה קבוע 8.99 לעומת שאר העולם ב-9.99, כדי לקבל את הזה, אז הוא הכין לנו לינק בשבילנו, פשוט צריך להיכנס ל-etsyrank.com/לירן, אז תקבלו את ההטבה, אוקיי? So, Anthony, thank you very much. I see that there is some question. They say, wow, great, thank you. That's what the question was about.
Okay, you're welcome.
If someone wants to say something, now it's the time. Before Anthony, he must go to some other place. So, any more questions? I'll ask in Hebrew. אם יש עוד שאלות, אז זה הזמן. אם לא, אוקיי, אז נראה לי שאנחנו בסדר.
Thank you.
אז לפני התודות, רק אני אגיד לו תודה. Anthony, that was a fabulous webinar. Thank you very much. It was a lot of, we got here a lot of new knowledge and insights. I'm sure that we will work together, in the next few days. We have a lot of ideas. We talk about even on Amazon, right? We want to go to other places together. We thought about Amazon and other sites, and especially on Etsy, we have a lot of to discuss. Thank you very much. It was a great webinar, and the guys here want to say thank you. You can unmute now and tell something to Anthony if you like.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you both, Liran and Anthony. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, have a good night. תודה לכולם שהצטרפתם.
תודה רבה.
Okay, they all say thank you in Hebrew. תודה רבה. It means.
Okay.
So, have a good morning, Anthony, and all have a good night. I will publish it later, once again, the links for the benefit on our site, okay, and on my group.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a good night, everyone.
Everyone. Thank
Great
you.
to speak.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.